Morning, mateys. This is Discovery Scout and some Pirates of the Caribbean film series here, and I actually is gonna have it very started right now. And North Northwest Laws and the main on the hunt and the game wardens, and they give us it about and the poachers. No hunting are allowing about the hunting seasons at about every year. The warden officer tells us about the not to hunt here to each area, not about for about couple of things about 10 times. That it could be about investigated, and that'll be about suspect, guilty or innocent. As long as is notice about it for the shotguns, rifles, bow and crossbows. Whoever this gets about for the knife, included about for the beers, bottles, cans, and alcohol, and this truck, a car, and this van. And it could be the most that have very problem there. For a lot of game warders, will be the ticket for the hunting season for these people. A lot of for the boats, for the boat and the fishing wildlife for this license. A lot of this is about allow this place are not allowed for the fishing seasons. Very important for you if you guys are about if you wanted to get the hunting for just as permanently for get the moose, a deer, and the bear. That would be about a gunshot of that would be ticketed to be arrested. That would be the going about for the jail one at a time for a reason. And I have the very could for you as long as you about for a couple of minutes to very to get busted for dumping it. This is very interesting for petting those of the deer fawns. So they can't be on the pet on this animal in the world of Maine. Maine has the Northwood laws of the game wardens and officers in the units, and tells you guys that very what happens there. If it uses there so that what happens there about Washington State game wardens, they can't be on the pets on this house, an apartment, or hotels. And no need to be a pet on in this hotel. No more new pets on these animals. So they talk to WS patrols, police and sheriff and game wardens and these wardens and in the units and security guards that tells you the guys that about the deer and about the second black-tailed deer and the Columbia black-tailed deer and the moose, elk, and the cougar, and it's mostly have predators have the bear, the wolf, the coyote, and a lot of the critters is here, the birds, and the ducks and goose. And people are not supposed to be on the pet inside the house and around the neighborhood. So you can't be, so they can't be on the pet. So I don't think about very about gaming wardens here. Hunting and shotguns, it's a lot of about the privately around those buildings. Fishing wildlife is most of them have under there for the bridge. That would be about very arrested. That would be about ticketed for warrants, equality for charges about 500. That could be about the charge 500. There's a lot of the 13 people are fishing around the river. If it gets at about the fishing under there for the River Road River, just you notice about the fish license on this every day, every about 2 or 3 days. That will be about for the season for the fish, the wildlife. If you wanted to be invited to be hunting the season, and that's gonna go to the Central Washington, while hunting for the elk, for deer, and the bear, and the goose and ducks, while you guys are hunting. Generally, it have been the way to the first day of a question for you. Number one, the Washington State Patrol or game wardens and the park wardens, if it tells us something happens there, if they can hear the gunshot, just notice about locations on this about and confirmations is this about the fish wildlife without the permissions on the bridge. That's not okay to be on the bridge while you're fishing wildlife on this building under the Seattle. That shouldn't be okay. And that shouldn't be okay on this beach while you're fishing around here. And, so if an officer says that, so what was this gonna happen there? So it says, why are you fishing there? Why are you shooting in shotguns? Why are you shooting the rifle? Why are you shooting the crossbows? Why are you shooting the bow and arrow? Why are you shooting the ducks? Why are you shooting the goose? Why are you shooting the deer, the bear, and wolf, and elk? And that's not okay to be shooting while you're hunting each other under the Maine, all around to the for the tourists there for the Washington D.C. And that shouldn't be okay. That shouldn't be all right. So I'm not being sure that then not matter what there be Northwest laws on Animal Planet and Channel 43. Game Water tells it about everybody, and the guy is named Matt Quibby, and the guy, the warden, in the driveway to the for the campus under the driveway and the patrol highway. That could be Cyrus Warren. Cyrus could be driving around with the girlfriend, just driving around with the friends. It could be about preventions at 50.5 points. That would be about the charges of the $50 reward. That means to take it away for your money. So anytime usually about the very questions, QA for about Q&A, answer the questions and numbers and the ones. I have the very idea. I just want to be saying that. So, question number 2. Game wardens said that's it about the investigating guilty and innocent, and it will be get the judge day. That could be about the department and the jail, and that could be about for the gunshot on the hunting night. That should be about for the busting and warning. And that could be about also it can be do, then it can't be hunt that night. That would be about an arrested for to put handcuffs on the back. That could be about for the jail for one about why you're hunting for the night. And the 7 to the 12 in the midnight at the 12 o'clock in midnight, it actually is about the very hunting just the privately in the building. They called 911. They called about game wardens and Washington State patrols, and they take a look at it for the rifle thing, right? For the bolt action rifle. If it gets to the scope, and they knowing what happens there, but to kill the deer. If poachers is seen about poachers and hunters, and it could be about the rocking around from the mountain thing. I've noticed about the very interesting is as long as you could would take you guys for forever. If it take you being arrested, think about the tickets as you're investigating. Shouldn't be okay. Shouldn't be about 20 minutes at the least. They know you for you guys, and they can know you. That could be about all of you as long as doesn't matter if it not to be hunting. That could be about not petting the bears. Bears don't pet in the house. Most elk and deer and all the animals too. Only about the pets and dogs and cats only. If you only could be about the pet marks and the body for the python out there in the cage, and it should be alright. Just privately a little bit. Game warden tells you about not to pet each other. That could be about for charges of $600 penalty. Infiltrator. Okay, they should be understood. That should be deal. And that should be to listen to each other. I have a really interesting, no innocence, no infinity, and the value that could be about penalty. That could be about $600 reward, $100 on reward. That should be about not hunting on the night while they gunshot with a rifle. The game warden says they can hear it, but it's saying game wardens put their hands behind the back. He says why the poachers and the guy in the hunting says, why are you shooting on us? They says, I shoot the deer. He can't, unfortunately, he replied, but he can't hunt the deer on the night without permissions on the light sight. There could be the arrested, and it could be about talk to about it. That could be about investigated and going to jail for 1 day. That could be the gut one. All right. Question number 3. Investigating northward signs on the hunt. Just the third one just ended up for the last time. Here's exactly what we need to do. Fishing, and most of them have a very important. There are a lot of fishing on the beach, and the ocean shores, Pacific Beach, Warden shores, they have game wardens that tells them not to fish around for the beach, and they could be about very targeted infiltrators. Could be about penalty about $200 for the charges. They understood that Jack and it says the woman on the game wardens, that's the woman that tells her about they say no hunting, fishing for wildlife without the permissions. It could be we're thinking about the really interesting. So why was that happened really gonna be? If it gets about very charges about 3.30.1, that would be about 301 penalty $40. That could be about in charges, warrants, and suspected. A lot of the 10 people, a lot of the fishing on the Pacific Beach, fishing are not allowed to fishing for wild, not allowed to hunting for a season for wildlife without permissions on the ocean shores during the campsites on these vacations. So thank me, and not about the very emotions is slow motions, alternative is not actually very incited. It's not a beat about for very important. It's not important. It's unimportant. Think about the very fishing on this beach. No fishing are allowed. No hunting. No dive. No shooting. No weapons here. Not allowed to be hunting. Not allowed to hunting the fishing on this season each other on this beach. And the game warden tells something about the stop. That could be about very arrested and go to jail about 1 day and 2 days. And things about sound cool. Okay, matey, still for this, will subscribe to more contests on the Northward on the hunt reaction, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google, and finds the Twitch live stream, the Juggy Stores, the gaming channel, by Jorge Mays. And if you guys are invited to be watching this about Animal Planet, No Worse Lost on the hunt, and it could be about very massacre, would be about arrested, busted, investigated, and inverted of this program, brought to you by Northwest Law, cops, sheriffs, and patrol, game wardens, and park wardens on the stream. Alright guys, and don't forget, keep your riches, mateys.